Diddle 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 diddle. Can you move on my seat, bitch? I ain't tripping, dog. You in my seat, bitch. That's in go say yes, say Parker, man. So, Shembe is my witness, Jehovah is Zulu. So, I just explained the Bible story. Guys, just check. We're on the second video. The name of the King of the Jews. Mind your language. Pay attention. The name of the King of the Jews, right? Now, what I just explained in the previous video was the fact that Jehovah is this personality that created creation and created an avatar called mankind in which he chose to dwell. So let's just say the housing for Jehovah's spirit is the man himself. Therefore, it is his intention to become a son of a man. And the son of which man? A son of a man born into the tribe of Judah and become the king of the Jews. Right. So there was a process. God created life. Men were messing up. He reset Rainbow Covenant and said, guys, let's start again. Then he went on this project to set up a covenant people called Israel. He led these people out of Egypt where they were and gave them regulations and statuses and a unique way of life in the context of the nations around them. And the purpose was so that these people can preserve these customs and preserve these things so that when he does show up and becomes the Son of Man, he will be their king and sit on the throne. Sit on his throne as King of the Jews. Very important, guys. Very important. I just have to point this out. So, what I'm going to do now is take you through a three-step process. So when we go into the New Testament now, we realize, okay, the Jehovah God of the Bible sets up his covenant people. And now what I want to go into it, let me jump into it now. Let me jump into it and say, I don't know if it's necessary, but let me just put it in here. So, his people, his covenant people, rebel and go after the ways of the other nations. They get conquered by another nation. So I'm saying by the other nations. However, God, Jehovah, promises to appear and restore them, as well as reveal himself to them and the other nations. And then when he does this, he will sit on the throne of Jehovah, which is the King of the Jews. Alright, so this is very important. So I'm going to give you some face time. Right, so now what's happened now is that Jehovah is the character in the book that is the creator of life that intends to become a son of man and show himself as the true creator in the form of a man. So what this spirit has to do is he has to prepare a way for himself to become a son of man by selecting his ancestors one by one. And so all these people that you hear about in the Bible, Abraham, Jacob, all these guys, that is the lineage that the spirit of the true creator of the Bible, the character, this character in the book, this spirit was choosing these personalities to be his ancestors so that they can prepare the vessel which he will become, the avatar that he will take up. And the purpose of this avatar is that he would take up permanent residence in this particular avatar. So meaning that Jehovah would become this person forever and ever and rule over his creation as a son of man forever and ever in that particular body. So he'll find permanent residence. I want to point this out to say this is what is said when Jesus makes the comment. The birds of the skies have houses and all these things, but the Son of Man has no place to rest his head. And when you actually pay attention, Jesus was not really talking about whether he had a place to stay. He was talking about the fact that the spirit of the Creator has not found his permanent place to live. Right? So imagine the Creator of all things is still locked out of his own creation and has not found permanent residence, has not found a place to live amongst his own people. The Creator of life does not have the freedom to live in his own creation, and he's still trying to figure out a way to find his way in. So I'm pointing this out, so it's very important that you guys understand where this is coming from. That this is why in the New Testament, this man called Jesus comes up, and he points out that, hey, I am coming on behalf of the Son of Man that is coming. But he doesn't say he is the Son of Man, but he says the Son of Man is with him. That spirit of the Creator that is known as Jehovah in the book was with him. Now, what he is referred to is the bridegroom. And the purpose of Jesus showing up was the fact that Jesus was kind of revealing what the name of the person that would sit on the throne as King of the Jews. So this is why this is the name of the King of the Jews is Jesus. So what's kind of funny is that somebody might think Jehovah is the name of God. No. Jehovah is the title that gets referred to as the spirit that created life that is trying to become. Because if you look at the word Jehovah, Jehovah means he will become. The spirit that will become a son of man that will live amongst his people forever and ever. And this spirit that will become, he will become the King of the Jews. And I want to point this out and make this point straight up, real quick. Straight up. This is the point I'm making. Right. Alright, so we're just doing this, writing the notes down. Jehovah, right, means he will become. Right. Right. Jesus is referred to as the groom of the Son of Man. The groom. Right? And he reveals the name of the Son of Man. Jehovah, he will become, intends to become the King of the Jews. Right, this will be the bride of the groom, and this is the one that will sit, the Son of Man that will sit on the throne. So the throne of Jehovah is the King of the Jews. So you see here, this is the Spirit of the Creator making a way for himself to take up permanent residence in his own creation. So what do I mean by permanent residence? Is the fact that, look, if mankind has to die all the time, generations come and generations go, what is the king of, what the Jehovah of the God of the Bible was basically doing is saying, at some point, right, I will become a son of man that will never have to die. I'll become an immortal son of man. And where that son of man is, I will be there forever. And that will be my permanent dwelling place. My spirit will dwell in that man forever. People have known that the prophets have come before. What God, the Jehovah God of the Bible have to do is send the prophet, send this guy, send Moses, send this, send Jesus on his behalf. And why Jesus is like the last person is because Jesus reveals who the Son of Man is, what type of person he is like, and reveals the name. And this is why Jesus says, ask anything of the Father in my name and he will give it to you. Why? Because Jesus is saying that he is the groom. So if the Father comes, when the Spirit of the Father is born into the world as a Son of Man, he will use my name. He will respect and honor my name, because like a bride, when a bride marries into a family, the bride takes the name and honors the name of the groom. So this is what's up. So what I'm trying to point out, the Jehovah God of the Bible, his name is Jesus, and he will sit on the throne of the King of the Jews. The King of the Jews, the title King of the Jews, that is his seat, that is his throne. That is where he will dwell forever and ever. So what people miss is when they sing these songs like, the Lamb upon the throne. The Lamb upon the throne, like they mentioned this throne in heaven and this big chair in heaven somewhere. No, it's never been the case, guys. It's never been the case. Old Testament and New Testament, the God of the Bible is finding a way to sit as the King of the Jews. That is his throne. That is his title. And if you don't believe me, read 1 Samuel. In 1 Samuel, when the Jews asked for a king, and the Jehovah God of the Bible says, these guys have rejected me as their king. I'm the one that intends to sit as their king. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to allow somebody to sit on my seat in the meantime, before I show up. And this is why, if you pay attention, King Herod, by the time Jesus was born, the Jews were aware that the King of the Jews, the Messiah, their Messiah, would come and sit as King of the Jews. So when King Herod heard that there's a king that's been born according to the prophecies, he tried to kill all the boys, because he was trying to say, look, this King of the Jews, or whoever this boy is going to come and take me off, move me from my seat. So, you know what I mean? So can you move from my seat, bitch? I ain't tripping, dog. Give me my seat, bitch. Can you move from my seat, bitch? I ain't tripping, dog. You in my seat, bitch. I'm gonna go see your Chicago, man. Can you move from my seat, bitch? I ain't tripping, dog. You in my seat, bitch. So King Herod was afraid, because the God of the Bible, he knew and he understood that the God of the Bible would become a Son of Man that would sit in the very seat that he's sitting on. So what was quite tragic about the Bible story, what you find, is that King Herod was much more comfortable with sitting in the seat as the king of the Jews, however being overruled by Rome. So he was much comfortable with the dominion of Rome and his servitude to Rome than having to take a sidestep a bit and allow the Messiah of the Jews to come and sit in his rightful seat. So this is what it is. So this is the politics, and I hope you guys understand that God's throne, the throne of God, according to the Bible, is not some throne in heaven. Okay, now that sounds quite ironic, right? Not some throne in some spiritual plane. Because that's the statement I just made now. It's like, it is a throne in Zulu. It's the throne of the Zulu. You know what I'm saying? It's the throne of the Zulu whenever we get there. It's not some magical plane somewhere far away where we go when we die. It is the literal place, the seat, the king of a specific people, covenant people. And what he plans to do is take this people and re-establish this people and join the entire world to this people. So this is the title, this is the seat of the King of the Jews. So if you pay attention to the template, the King of the Jews, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. What's what the God of the Bible is about. So now we understand what's happening in the story. Let's just jump back into it. We understand what's happening in the story, right? Jehovah, meaning he will become the spirit of the creator, making a way for himself to take a permanent residence in his own creation. He will come in the name of Jesus, that's the name of who he is, and he will sit as a son of man on the throne, being known as King of the Jews. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's pay attention. We're jumping into the next video. Sweet. The author intends to become Jehovah.